Ba-ba-ba-ba! It's your boy, DJZ. And I want you to check out my man Cody over on YouTube at Rasslin Rage. Check his website out, r2youtube.com, and give them a follow, give them a subscribe, give them a like. Ba-ba-ba-ba!
Oh!
This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
There we go. Hey, what's crack-a-lagging? For some reason, that thing takes a minute to transfer from that thing to this thing and blah, 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 schmack, schmack. But, hey, guess what? We are live for Rasslin Rage. This is the 2-year anniversary, exactly, to the day, October 29th, 2017, Rasslin Rage, first episode on YouTube. I'm a little bit skinnier, just a little, but a little bit skinnier. Good stuff. Exactly 2 years ago to the day, you also were on Rasslin Rage for the first time.
First ever interview, right? So good stuff. So you joined us via Google. That's how long ago it was. It was Google Hangouts that we were using at that time.
That app's still even up?
I have no idea. It's archaic now. But from LaGrange, fortunately, he's in Michigan today. So in celebration of that, the 2-year anniversary, he has joined us tonight. So welcome back to the show, my man. What's going on?
I am happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm glad that you came back and hang out with me. The show that we're doing tonight and all the content that is on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel is brought to you by the Happy Harper Ice Cream, ran by my man, Mr. Josh, and he's now doing this sweet tournament. He's got 16 flavors, and he's doing a tournament, and they're doing like a poll where you can do polls and vote on your stuff.
I'm still waiting for the whiskey flavor.
I know. I think a lot of people are. Wouldn't that be awesome? Come home.
It.
You don't have to do a shot. You just do a, bite ice cream.
Honestly, when my dad barbecues, I love it when my dad barbecues. He's so good at it. And when he makes the steak, he'll put the whiskey on it, and you don't get drunk from it, but you get the taste.
Right, you get that
and
Tennessee whiskey. Yeah. There's a few restaurants, bars that do like a infused Tennessee whiskey type thing. So good stuff. Hey, make sure you guys head on over to their Facebook page at Happy Harper Ice Cream. Hey, Beals is saying hello to you there, BRD.
Oh, how's it going?
So is Mrs. Weir. So good stuff. Nice to see everybody in there. Mr. Dave, Biased Radio. Nice to see everybody in there. Shout out to you guys. Also, make sure you scroll down there into the description. There we go. Scroll down to the description and check out prowrestlingtees.com/Rasslin Rage, where you can get a Rasslin Rage T-shirt. There's 2 available currently. Also, make sure you subscribe, which should be like down there, like there. Yeah, right down in there. Hit that button to subscribe. And if you haven't already, please smash the thumbs up. Like smash it many times. Please. Also, please follow Rasslin Rage on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Rasslin Rage. Keep that real simple for everybody to find me. If you're catching this replay on Facebook, please make sure you head on over to r2youtube.com to subscribe to Rasslin Rage, because Rasslin Rage is awesome.
And good. Join the live chat.
And join the live chat. Yeah, you can always do that too. You want to do that. Dre Jacobs, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Nice to see you. Billy Ray, would you like to share the announcement?
Oh, are we doing that now, Dre?
Oh, no, there's an announcement? I did not know about this. Let me hit this first. Before we do any of that stuff, I'm going to hit this just because we're going to ask Billy Ray a couple questions, and apparently there's some announcement that I had no idea about. Here's these things again. This is how it goes on Rasslin Rage. You never know what's going to happen. But here we go. When we come back, apparently we have an announcement, and Dre Jacobs is in the chat, which is amazing, by the way. What's up, War Boy? And check out his interview that I did with him, Dre Jacobs. A very good interview. Learned a lot about him that I didn't know. So here we go. When we come back. I don't know what it is with that transition. Every time when it goes to that, it's always being stupid. So
You think you would have figured this out? It's
well,
been
I
2
don't know.
years.
I don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, it started acting up. It was whatever happened with the Windows did an update, and then once that happened, it started effing stuff up. So, and you know what? I said effing, so I don't have to put $1 in. So, booyah! How you like me now? All right. So
So I guess before you get into the questions, I want to put out there that me and Dre Jacobs had a talk a while back,
okay,
and
that could be good or bad.
actually, it's really good. I
Oh,
love
okay.
Dre. One of my favorite people in the world.
Well, I didn't mean it like that, but
So everybody in here, or at least I hope everybody in here, knows about War Inc.
yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I was asked if I wanted to be a part of it. And honestly, that's not something I would turn down.
Oh, so now you are a member of War Inc.
Yes, it's just a matter of when
You get your
can
beat
put
in?
it on a show. Well, I would take it.
Beat in, blood in, blood out, right?
As long as Dre Jacobs is part of it, I'm
All
down.
right, there you go. I like that. So Billy Ray Daniels, you heard it here first on Rasslin Rage, is now part of War Incorporated or War Inc., which is a faction that takes place in how many different organizations?
That would be more of a question for Dre. I
Dre.
know of several of them,
Right.
but I don't know how many to really put it out there. Tell you how many that they do it in.
Right on.
I know that Dre and Justin Dream do
Ooh.
a lot of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I do see they're on their Facebook posts or their posts and stuff about it a lot. So first, dude, what the heck's up, bro?
Oh, I'm having a blast.
I could tell, man. Good stuff. You've been really busy, haven't you? The last time, I think it wasn't that long ago, but the last time we had talked, that you had just started training with Can-Am or at Can-Am Dojo with Johnny Bravo and all the guys over there. And
That's been almost a year now, actually.
yeah,
since I've been there.
yeah, it's been about a year. What's that been like for you?
Honestly, it was the best career move I could have made because, I was always, I would say, good at the moves and I understand psychology and stuff like that. But they taught me how to be able to do all of that stuff and have more of myself, my character in my matches.
Right.
And in my opinion, in the last year, if you go back and watch anything before I started at Can-Am and anything after, you can see such a huge
Yeah,
improvement.
for
in
sure.
What I've
Oh,
done.
yeah.
It was
Yeah. That's what I was talking with Dan, before we film MIW, which we're going to be filming tomorrow, by the way, and then that'll be on the R2 YouTube at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, and then it'll be on Facebook probably Thursday. But usually we sit and talk a little bit before and after. We're guys, that's what we do, right? But hence why I have a podcast. But anyways, YouTube show, whatever you want to say. But we talked a lot. We talked about how the improvement that we've seen, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to say that you were crappy or anything like that. There was a whole lot of improvement, and I've reached out to you. I really like this thing you're doing with the Jack Daniels and wrestling with the bottle. That's awesome. I really like it. I think it's cool. That's personally something.
I actually have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
To be
Now,
honest.
is that something that you brought on because of the training at Can-Am, or is it an idea that you had,
it
what
was
flared that
a
up?
little bit. It was a little bit of an idea, but also I'll throw it out there because I think he'll be mad if I don't tell you. It was actually an idea that Alex Weir had given me.
Oh God!
Like a year
we
ago,
go.
and I was like, "No, that sounds so stupid. I'm not doing that." And then the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, let me try this. So I tried it over in Canada.
Yeah.
And not in a bar, it was family friendly crowd and everything. And I was like, okay, I'll try it here, but I don't think it's really going to work. and it like blew up. The people over there just loved every bit of it, and I was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, I really like it. I really think it's cool.
And I like it too, but there's certain people that when I'm in the ring with them, I can't do that with. And it's not because I don't think it'll get over, it's because of who they are, and I know the talent that they have, and that we can do something really special. So it's not like one of those things that you're going to see me do every match.
Right.
So it's
Yeah. Well, and that's good though, because if you did it over every match, then it would become kind of watered down, and it would be the same thing over and over and repetitive, and there's nothing to it. There's nothing special to it. There's got to be something special. There's something like, I mean, like the Jack Daniels is your spinach, something, right? You'll figure it out. I know you'll get there. I know you will. Before we go a little bit too further, I want to give a big shout out to my man out there, Greg, the dude, the guy that wins everything at XICW, always getting to book the matches. Greg winning everything all the time.
He never picks me though.
He's calling you out. He just called you out. Look at that. I like it. So a lot has changed in 2 years, right? You're moving along pretty good with your career, your training. There's always, at least there should be, right? You should have goals to go forward and things like that. You have goals? What kind of goals you got? Tell us your goals. I mean,
there's a couple
wrestling
actually.
wise.
So my aunt watches all of my stuff that I put out, but she lives in Oklahoma. So one of my goals is I want to go down there and wrestle in Oklahoma just so she can see me wrestle live.
There you go.
I want to wrestle in Canada, or not Canada.
Well, you've
California.
already that was one of your goals before, and you've already accomplished that. So give me that crap.
I want to wrestle in California. I mean, I've heard a lot about the scene from El Ridiculoso.
Yeah.
And I would really think I could have a lot of fun out there. And I know that next October
I know a guy in California.
We're planning a trip out to LA, family trip, and I might try to find something out there while we're out there.
Right.
Have some fun with it.
Nice.
But I'd say my biggest goal, and it's one of the reasons why I'm still at Can-Am, is I want to be on Impact Wrestling.
Nice.
And to be honest with you, I don't want to I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's butt or just trying to hype myself up, but I'm this close. This close.
No.
Just got a few more things.
If you're not thinking like that, why are you even doing it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you're like, well, I might get there. What? Then you don't want it bad enough.
Exactly.
That's the way I think about it. But no, that's exactly the way you should be. No, don't ever have to tell me sorry. Don't gotta tell me sorry. Screw that. Get ahead. Right? You gotta do what you gotta do. But definitely, yeah, I do. I know a few guys out in California. I know a booker in California, as a matter of fact. Just so happens to be my wife's cousin. Well, anyways.
And actually, before you move on to your next step, I have a present
Josh.
for you.
A present?
I have a present for you.
Uh-oh.
So I got this.
Uh-oh.
So I got to sign it for you.
Uh-oh. What is it? Is it Jack
This
Daniels?
is my first ever
Ooh!
wrestling trunks.
Woo!
When me and Alex Weir went at it at Blue Water Championship Wrestling.
Which time?
The first time.
First time.
First match.
Oh, there's
This
like
is what I wore.
there's a whole lot of times.
There's a whole lot of times.
That is true. Look
so
at
I'm
that.
gonna sign BRD on here just for you, Cody.
That's going on the wall for sure. Nice. Look at that.
So there you go.
He got his ass pants. That's awesome, dude. That's cool. Thanks, dude. That's
No
awesome.
problem.
Yeah, man. I gotta figure a way to put them up and display those. I got BRD's ass pants. Look at that. All right. So we talked goals. You have done a lot in 2 years, right? We talked about that. What are some of the things that you think that you've done that's been good for your career and changing wise?
You mean just since going to Can-Am
Or
just
the
in
past
general?
2 years?
Actually being able to take a step back sometimes. I've been going back here lately and watching some of my matches from my first year in the business and my second year in the business, and just being able to see how much I've grown, and also like just little things that I did back then that I don't do now that you may see have a comeback here and there type of thing. And I mean, it's just all about improvement.
Right.
That's all the things.
Right.
People like Dre Jacobs who will take me aside after my matches and tell me, hey, this was really cool. This was really cool, but maybe you should do this instead, or don't take so much time here, or take more time here. It's just the little things that people have been helping me with that
Right.
I can say have helped me grow as a performer.
Right. For sure. Yeah. Oh, good. Now, Mrs. Weir says she has mixed feelings about me having your ass pants. Anyways, so we talked about where you were.
I mean, if you keep losing weight, you might be able to.
I know. 2 years ago, where you were, where you are now. Where do you want to be in 2 years?
In 2 years, I want to be the guy that everybody is tuning in to watch on TV.
There you go. That's not a bad goal to have. So let's ask something about Rasslin Rage, right? Okay, so 2 years ago, Rasslin Rage came on to give everybody out there a little bit of a background. When Rasslin Rage started, there were no microphones. The camera was crappy. We actually used the microphone on the camera, so it sounded like we were in a train tunnel. And we were using Google Hangouts for interviews. But what something that you've seen change in Rasslin Rage that you like over the 2 years?
Everything.
Besides the co-host.
Honestly, everything. Actually, you know what? It was his own fault type of thing. That's why he's not here. I actually like the fact that you do the guest host every week. That's one of my favorite things because then you always get to see Cody.
Right.
And I love Cody. But
Don't tell
it's cool
that.
to see Mr. Weir come on here and sit and talk wrestling with you. Or even like when you had Jackson Stone on here.
Yeah.
That was a cool episode.
Yeah, I got to get him back on again, by the way.
It's really cool that you can go this way and have so much fun with it.
Right.
That I have to say the guest host thing is my favorite thing.
I like that, and I really like that because, like you said, you can see me all the time, and granted that's cool and all, but at the same time you have to have something that draws people to come in, and one of those things is having different people all the time. And it makes me different all the time too, because my dynamic with you is different, say, than with Shogun, or say with Master Weir, or with Alex, or with whoever. My dynamic becomes different because of my relationship with that person, so the conversations therefore become different. So I like that. That's awesome. I'll tell you, one of the things that I think that I like that has changed in the past 2 years is
how many subscribers you have.
That too, but less technical hiccups. The equipment, the equipment's got a little bit better, so things have gotten a little bit better. I mean, there's still little tidbit gremlin issues that happen from time to time, like these microphones have been I just want to strangle somebody, but it is what it is. They're making fun of me. They think I'm gonna be wearing these and turn. Oh, listen. So listen, hey guys, if you have questions for either I or BRD, please leave those for the end of the show. Towards the end, that's where we do legit wrestling questions. We've always done, well, not always. It became a thing at some point, and we called it legit wrestling questions. And you can ask him or I questions about anything to do with wrestling at the end there. It's now time for that portion of the show where we talk about news and juicy stuff that happens in the world of professional wrestling. We call that part of the show All the Rage. I even have this cool thing. What do you want to call it? An intro thing that we do. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff, actually. All right, when we come back. Bam! All right, so here we are. Cool, good stuff. So that's All the Rage. The very first episode of AEW Dynamite will air on TNT Wednesday at 8 p.m.
I am actually super excited about this. I liked a lot of what they're doing. The only thing that makes me mad is I can't watch it live.
Yeah, because you got to work.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be teaching.
Shoot job.
So I'll be in class. I'll be actually doing black belt class when this goes on. So I won't be able to watch. I'll have to watch it just like you. I have to watch the replay. But it is what it is. That's the beauty of what's happening in the world of professional wrestling right now. Every day. Every day, Billy Ray. We have wrestling.
Every day.
Every day.
I love it. Though, the thing is that I'm really worried about with this is I don't want it to be a flop, and I don't want it to turn into another WCW where
Gotcha.
Everybody's just running and doing whatever they want.
Yeah, right. No, there's got to be order.
Yes.
There has to be a head mofo in charge.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, so
100%.
someone's got to be putting a smack down and say, no, you can't do this. Can't let him run wild.
And I'm really hoping that Cody can be as good as his dad was.
Oh, for
At
sure.
doing this.
Well, and a lot of the conversations that I've had, I don't know about anybody else, but one of the conversations that I had is the difference in the brothers, right, between Dustin and Cody. Dustin grew up with Dusty when Dusty was on the road and doing all that stuff. So he saw the wrestling side of it. Cody grew up when Dusty was booking everything. So he got to see that side of everything.
And I think that helps him a lot more.
I think so. And I think that's where you see the difference between Dustin and what he's done with his career compared to what Cody and what he's doing with his career.
And I'll be honest, one of the things that really makes me excited for it is that because Cody is at the forefront of this, he didn't throw the belt on himself right off the bat. And that right there tells me, it wants to tell me that there's good things in the future with this.
Well, and there's more.
I'm not saying that Cody can't carry it, but I don't want it to be like, well, he's the booker. So
Right, yeah, so he has to carry it. No, and I get that. Hey, you guys out there, are you watching? What are you? Because on Wednesdays you got Dynamite and NXT. So and I'm going to try to catch both. I can't catch them live, obviously, but I'm going to try to watch a replay on both.
My only thing, that's another thing about that whole thing. Why is NXT only running the first hour and then putting the other hour on the network? I don't understand that.
It's only for the first 2 or 3 episodes because it's something that was already slated for that second hour.
Okay.
That's
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
And then after that, it'll be Wednesdays on USA and then
it'll
Thursdays.
Be the full 2 hours.
Right, yeah, it'll be full 2 hours. And then Thursdays, the replay will be on the network.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. For now, that's, depending on what happens. And there's supposed to be some kind of network show that's going to be happening on Fox now too. That's going to kind of be like a wrestling talk show type thing. I don't know.
I thought I heard something about that, and like Renee Young was going to be the host on it or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, is there anything? I know you're pretty close with Impact. Are you excited about this move for Impact moving on Fridays to Tuesdays when they go to Access here?
Actually, yes. And the main reason is because they won't have to compete with SmackDown.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's the main reason. And that they're actually going to be on a TV channel as opposed to being on Twitch.
Right.
Which I think will get more viewers in because more people will have access to it.
I like Twitch personally. Not everybody has it. Not everybody's savvy to that.
I like Twitch and I watched a lot of their stuff on there. I also have the Impact Plus app, which is the nice thing because even if you don't get the channel, you can't get the Impact Plus as far as I know yet on the Xbox or the PlayStation or anything like that. But you can get it on your smartphone and on your iPhone. And
Johnny Bravo is going to be giving you thumbs up for this, man.
And you can still watch it on there, because they still put it on there. It don't have a subscriber fee or anything like that.
Right.
So if you subscribe to it, then you can go back and you can watch anything. If you don't subscribe to it, I think you get the last 5 episodes, I think is what it is that you can watch of Impact. And you also get the Explosion.
Okay.
Which is just it's their smaller stars that are working their way out of the main roster.
Yeah, sort of like a proving ground type deal thing. Gotcha. Impact, dude. I'm gonna have to say, dude, Impact's on the rise. They're coming back, and you better watch it because there's a lot of young guys, and not only that, there's a lot of young guys we know. It's like it's like. That's what makes it even better for people like myself, because oh, hey, I know that guy. Hey, I watched that guy here. Oh, I've seen that guy over here. Hey, I interviewed that guy. Stuff like that.
To be honest with you, some of my favorite guys that are on Impact are from right here in Michigan.
Yeah, I love Rohit Raju. I know he's a bad guy, but man, that guy can talk.
I'm still waiting to get my chance in the ring with him.
Yeah, really? Wow, I thought you would have got beat up by him once at least.
I'm hoping.
I like it.
I'm hoping soon.
Yeah, right. So Danny in the chat says he'll be watching AEW live. I'm excited to go back to clicking back and forth again. Went back and forth like
you
the
don't
old
really have to click back and forth though, Danny. You can watch either one you want and go back and watch the other one because in my opinion, I think this day and age is going to be a lot better than others because they're not just going on the live ratings,
Right.
Because now they also have the DVR or the on demand and the online ratings that they still have to
Yep.
take into consideration too. So
There's a lot of
just
that.
because a lot of people are going to watch AEW live doesn't mean that more people are watching AEW. More people could still be watching NXT.
Right. Dave in the chat says it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. That is for sure, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan or be anybody in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, for sure.
They're just with the AEW thing, MLW, just all these other ones that are out there now that are picking up steam. There is so much more chance for anybody to get that contract,
Right.
to make that money and actually make this an actual career where you can support yourself and your family.
Support yourself is the biggest thing for
Yes.
sure, and not eating a hot dog after the show and then having to drive on back home, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But just to throw it out there, I'm not a hot dog handshake kind of. Just saying.
we got to get that out there. That don't work for a hot dog and a handshake, buddy. All right, but Greg in the chat says commercial clicking is fun though. But you know what? I hate commercials, so I'll just wait. I'll just wait so that I don't have to watch the commercials.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's how I am.
Sometimes the commercials are good though,
Some.
because you might find a show that you might actually want
I
to see, and
guess.
you see it in a commercial,
Right.
like Treadstone.
Oh, that
looks
is a
really
good one.
good.
That is a good one. Now the rumors are starting to circulate a little bit about there's a possibility of AEW having a second show. I don't think that might be the proper thing to do at this moment, but later on down the line, this is my personal opinion. Just so you okay, is that maybe later on down the line when they've established themselves a little bit more and they're doing okay with the time slot that they have now, then maybe we can worry about something
That's
else.
the thing, though, is it's rumors.
Right? Yeah, I know. It's rumors.
It's rumors, and
Gives
I
me
think
something to talk
that-
about.
I think that they will, but I think that they're still got to see where they're going.
Yeah. Oh
with
yeah.
this first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One step at a time.
Well,
Don't blow all your load right off the bat.
I don't know if that's $1 or not, but whatever. Anyways, there's like the rumblings or grumblings or whatever, the rumors, whatever you want to say is that Tony Khan is one of those guys that who owns AEW. He's one of those guys that he's got all these ideas and he just keeps throwing them out there, and they just kind of they're trying to figure out that's a great idea, but where does that fit in with where we're at now? Because it might not fit into their timeline now, but maybe later on down the road. And that's what they're saying is it's being thrown out there, but there's no concrete, hey, we're going to do this,
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. I actually, for instance, I actually just read this story from Bruce Pritchard the other day that the original idea for the Kane gimmick was he was supposed to be a superhero.
That would never have worked.
I don't know. From what I read, it seemed like it could have worked.
Could have.
If they would have done it right, but they went a different way. It's just one of those things.
Well,
they throw all
and
the
that's
ideas out
it's
there.
how many different gimmicks did that guy have before one really worked and took off? Because there was Yankum and all that, all these different ones that he had done, and then Kane was the one that worked.
Yeah,
that was the one. Same thing with the Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
Undertaker had a few, and then the Undertaker worked, and he's been the Undertaker ever since.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, still talking a little bit about AEW, but I know you remember this from the page because you were telling me your kid says it, right?
Yes, all the time.
All right, so a bit of the bubbly, a little bit of the bubbly. That's right, a little bit of the bubbly. They are now trademarking that. AEW is. They do have a T-shirt now that's available on ProWrestlingTees.com/AEW, I believe, that you can buy.
Yes.
A little bit of the bubbly. So. Must have gave the superhero idea to the Hurricane. True.
And he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he did. Sure did. So that's pretty cool.
I think it's a smart move.
Well, yeah. I mean, with as much pop, how many of those videos came out the next day?
Oh yeah.
Of Bart and all these bit of the bubbly.
All I can say is if they got my 6-year-old running around the house pretending to be Chris Jericho and saying that, you got something. So
some kids see your kid doing that. That kid is the greatest wrestling fan known to man. I swear.
I'm
He's
telling you.
so passionate. It's amazing. I love it. I get more a kick out of like, seeing other fans, especially the kids, than I do going to the show. Like watching the kids have those reactions, like, oh my God, that's awesome to me. That's just amazing. That little, there's a couple people that we know that come to shows that bring their kid, and anytime Cyrus is at a show, they're there. Like they're there. And they bring their kid, and man, that kid, he absolutely is petrified of Soul Taker. As soon as when we were at Tri-City and his music hit, he ran, dude. He took off. He was gone. His parents were all like, yeah, he took off. So I love to watch those raw, pure emotion reactions that people have, like when Alex Weir turns to a bad guy and turns on well, he was already a bad guy, but when he turns on his mentor, Aaron Orion, and my pure emotion reaction was like, "Oh my God!" Like I was a wreck, dude. I was a wreck.
Oh, I can't wait to see Aaron get his hands on him.
Oh, me neither. Oh, well, he kind of did a little bit, but I mean, I can't wait. It's going to be a good one for sure, for sure. Now, Miz and Maurice welcomed their second daughter into the world last week. Madison Jade, 2 daughters. Not this guy. I got 2 guys, 2 boys, and I'm good. Thank you. I don't want little girls. I don't want girls.
2 boys. That's all you need.
I don't want no girls. I'm good. Thank you. But congrats to Miz and Maurice. A little bit, kind of some bad news, but he's supposedly doing all right. But superstar Billy Graham was hospitalized earlier this week or last week.
That's not good.
Right, for what was believed to be a mild heart attack, and he was being treated for congestive heart failure. Later in the week, he released via Facebook that he did in fact have a heart attack and is still being treated for heart failure. So make sure you keep him in your prayers.
I hope the best for him.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Then Chyna, she was just recently inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, something a lot of people said they thought would probably never happen. But I know she wasn't. I know she wasn't inducted by herself. She was inducted in by DX. I agree. I totally agree with you there. She's the only woman to ever win the Intercontinental title twice. So
only woman to ever be the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship.
There you go. And there's that one too. So, I mean, definitely there are accolades that would merit for her to be into the Hall of Fame on her own. But, we can still petition and picket and do whatever we have to do. But they are putting her in WWA 2K20 this year. But she will only be available as, let's see here, in the deluxe and collector's edition of the game. So if you play that game, which I don't, because I tried and it's just not my thing.
My son loves them.
Well, your son probably knows more.
He already said that's what he wants for Christmas, and he wants the collector's edition that's almost $200. And I'm like,
it's not the single.
But at the same time, I can't really complain that he wants this game for $200 because it's the only game that he asked for all year. Is the WWE game.
Well, see, the last one, 2K19, I only bought it for Ric Flair. All the stuff for the Ric Flair piece of the robe.
Honestly, that was the only reason that I got that one too, because my son collects all that stuff.
Right.
So he was super excited about it.
Yeah, it was the 2K19 Ric Flair from the one where he cuts the promo in the 70s from the NWA or WCCW. And then the piece of the ring or this robe.
Yep. And
the ring.
My son actually got the part of the pink robe.
Pink robe? Yeah. Well, I don't know. A lot of people don't know this, and there's a reason why I specifically have that Ric Flair signed. Because I actually gave the other one that was Goof to Master Weir.
Oh yeah.
But I have you were there with me when we got Charlotte, but Charlotte and his robe that he wore for his last match against Sean. They're brain for
one of my favorite matches.
That robe was used to make that robe that she wears. So that's why I have that like that. And that's specifically. I'm weird like that, but that's it. That's why those 2 things and why I had those.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
That's exactly why I had those 2 things autographed because of that, and then. I'm like that, I've met Ric Flair 3 times now. Gonna hopefully go for a 4th. Did you ever
go to that Evolve show where they had Adam Cole?
Yes, I got
his autograph
somewhere.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure. I know my son got.
Yeah, we were there. We rode together, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I got Adam Cole and Cassius Ohno I didn't go to the last one where they got what's his name? The heel.
I gotta say that's the one wrestling show that I've taken my son to, because I've taken him to a lot of the WWE shows and stuff like that, and a lot of the independent shows and stuff. But that one show was probably the happiest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
So
It
Adam Cole's his guy. That's his
Well,
favorite
there-
wrestler.
yeah,
so
Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, he's
I
a
gotta
good.
say that's probably the happiest I've ever seen him.
When I was in line and I get up to him, it's my turn and go up there and he lays the 8x10 out. We go back behind the thing, get my picture taken. He's like, "How you doing?" He shakes my hand. He's like, "Doing pretty good. I'm meeting Adam Cole. I'm at Evolve, about ready to watch some wrestling. I'd say I'm doing pretty good." He's like, "All right then." We take our picture and then off we went. It was pretty cool though. I have some exchanges.
Oh yeah, Hunter was very happy. He got his picture with them both doing the Undisputed Era sign.
Right, there you go. Nice. So, former WWE superstar Victoria has officially retired from wrestling action.
Impact star Tara.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, that too, yeah.
I like the Impact version of her a lot better.
Oh,
with the
well,
tarantula.
Everybody's got a little bit of everything, right? I'm sure she's still going to be booked for signings all
Oh,
over
I'm sure.
because that's what you do. But so don't get your panties in a bunch, Danny Beals. You can still get that autograph if you need it.
Shoot, Sean's been retired for almost 10 years and he still does autograph signings.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, and they're a lot of money too. Now this is a little bit of unfortunate news because this is actually a pretty good podcast, if you ask me. But Edge has announced he will be retiring from the podcast he and Christian do called ENC's podcast or Pod of Awesomeness.
This makes me sad.
Yeah, because that's
love
it's a really good podcast. It's one of the most popular wrestling podcasts there is.
I'd have to say one of my favorite episodes is it's toss up between the one they had with Kurt Angle and the one they had with Randy Orton. They were both really good.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and check that one
A
out.
lot of backstory in there and behind the scenes stuff that you didn't know about, and then you hear him talk about it, and it's good.
Right. So there's no information really as to why he's retiring, but it's probably ran its course. It's like one of those things. It's like a life cycle, they go so long, and now it's time to start something new.
Yeah.
So that's probably what he's doing. There's no word if Christian's going to do his own thing or what's going to happen. So we'll find out.
I heard not too long ago that he got cleared to come back and wrestle.
Ooh,
if
Edge?
He wanted to.
Edge.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That would be pretty sweet, and that might knock the socks off if Edge came back.
I mean, a part of me would really like to see him come back, but a part of me is like, no, just
It's like you
let
don't
him do his own.
you don't
thing
want to see
now.
your heroes be
Yeah.
like Sean coming back.
Sean wasn't the one that looked bad in that match.
Here we go.
Just saying.
All right. So then the last thing, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. And I don't necessarily think this is true, but hey, I've been wrong before. A lot of rumors circulating that John Morrison, Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro, or whatever you're deciding to call him today, Johnny Rasslin Rage, whatever, has rumored to have signed with WWE. Like you were saying earlier when we talked about that, his wife is still an Impact. She's the women's champion in Impact.
Longest reigning
Yeah.
Knockouts champion.
And
260 days. I know it's more than that now, but that was the last thing.
wouldn't it be wonderful? Because he come out on Twitter and basically said, no, that's not the case. But you know how it is. You know how it is in wrestling. But wouldn't that be wonderful that if on Wednesday, AEW on October 2nd, Dynamite goes on, and then all of a sudden John Morrison comes out as Johnny Dynamite?
And he's one of Chris Jericho's tag team partners.
Oh,
Just saying.
Oh, now we're talking. That could be awesome. But nothing official on anything about anything to do with those guys. So
I mean, he could still very well wind up have signed with WWE, but and don't send me no messages. I don't have any backstage news on any of that, even though I know a lot of the Impact guys and stuff like that. I don't have any backstage news. Don't message me. I don't know for sure.
right.
But
yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's one of those times in wrestling.
But if he was to come to WWE, let's just throw it out there. If he was to come to WWE, where would they put him?
No idea.
Like I know he's good enough to be on Raw and SmackDown, but why wouldn't you put him on NXT? He's so talented. He could help all those guys so much. Because sometimes you just have to look at it and be like, well, he's great, and we could put him on there, and he could have great matches with Seth Rollins or Daniel Bryan or whatever. But why would they use him in that aspect when they can use him to help the guys that are going to be the future in the next 5 years?
Right. For sure. Definitely. Well, it could happen. So who knows? I'm sure we'll find out here shortly where he's at. Hopefully, I say he shows up on AEW Dynamite. I think that'd be a good spot for him personally. But that's me.
I think
You want him to stay at Impact.
If I had to make a guess, and not where I want him to go wherever he's going to be happy, because that's
Okay.
the best thing.
Sure,
That's the best thing for anybody. That's why I was happy with John Moxley, because he wasn't happy where he was at, and now he's happy, even though he got hurt, whatever, but I just want him to go somewhere where he's going to feel happy and accomplished, because that's what we all want.
Right. All right. Well, it's time for legit wrestling questions. I don't think we're going to get many, but we're going to hit the thing and we're going to talk legit wrestling questions. I hate that thing. It's getting on my nerves.
You will figure this out. I have faith in you.
Out of nowhere, it started doing it like the other day, and it was just it was just making me so mad. So we're in that part of the question where you can ask me or Billy Ray any questions about wrestling. While we're waiting for some questions, I'm going to go over something. Tomorrow, the boys are coming in. Josh and Danny are coming on in, and we're going to film an episode of Michigan Independent Weekly. This episode, we're going to talk about all the shows that we know about in October. We're going to put up all the information. We'll put up the flyer up so you can see the flyer. We're going to tell you where to get tickets, or we'll give you the websites or whatever, and we'll put all that information down in the description for that. But you'll be able to know when, where, how, and all that stuff of when we're going to have shows and stuff like that. But we're going to go through every one of them and talk a little bit about that. We might even talk a little bit about DSW and what happened. Who knows? But make sure to catch my interview with Hyena Hagen at 10 a.m. on Wednesday on r2youtube.com, and then Friday at 10 a.m. Billy Ray's match with Nolan Edwards at Tri-City Wrestling's 5th annual Cassidy Christie Memorial Show. We'll be up there.
I would just like to say, well, you're putting that up there when Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I would like for all of you guys to go and watch that match and take it in. If you weren't at the Tri-City show, or even if you were at the Tri-City show, that was honestly my favorite match I have ever had.
It was electric, and I know gimmick infringement, Electric Ely, but it was definitely. And I talked to Nolan a little bit, and basically I said, dude, that set the tone for the rest of the night. Really, that match right there, every match after it had to be better than that. So that set the tone.
To be honest, and I told you earlier, I had the goal walking in there, win or lose. I was going to be the guy that when I walked in the back, everybody out in that crowd was going to be like, now how are they going to top that?
Right. And that's good. And it definitely, there was a lot of, I want to see that match, Greg says. There was a lot of, it was just one of those things where it's like, even where I was at that time, and I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And this is insane. And I looked at Danny and I'm like, dude, this is really good. Like, this is really good. And I'm like, the rest of the route, they're going to have a hard time topping this. But, definitely a good match. Now, we got some questions in here, and they look like they're getting directed towards what? Honestly, what?
Really good. That's Can-Am training for you.
Right? Yeah, there you go. So let's see here. Billy, who was your toughest opponent to date?
Blake.
Really?
We have wrestled all over the place. Matter of fact, last Friday, not this Friday that just passed, but the one before that, we had our latest match and our first one-on-one in Canada. Tore the house down. It was great. But
was that Crossbody Pro or whatever?
Yes, Crossbody Pro Wrestling. Yep.
Where is that anyway? I know it's in Canada. Where
Kitchener.
At? Kitchener.
It's about 30 minutes this side of Toronto.
Right. Okay.
So, but it was with Blake. It's always I don't want to say a challenge, but it's always one of those, like I was talking about with the whiskey earlier. That's one of those guys that you can't do the whiskey stuff with because you need to take that man seriously because you know how talented he is. And he's
Okay,
going to give absolutely
I think
everything.
I'm understanding where you're coming from a little more now that
Yes.
you're explaining it. I get that. Yeah, it would. Let's see here. What else we got? I want to see that match. It was a great match for sure. Danny Beal says, I seen Billy Ray versus Nolan at DSW Fallout last year. One of my favorite matches of both guys. That was Greg said that.
Oh, this one definitely topped that one. And that was a fun match, too.
It was a fantastic match to see. This is from Dave Rose. It was a fantastic match to see, and props to Nolan on his new gig at Impact. We will miss him here at home, though. I'm sure he'll come back.
Come
from
on
time to time.
and check out UCW on October 5th. If I'm not mistaken, the last time we talked, he was still going to be there for that show.
Yeah. So now that
he's got that one, and I think one more, and those are going to be his last 2 matches in Michigan. Not for good, but he just wants to take some time off away from Michigan for a minute, just to
nothing wrong with
take
that.
care of some stuff that he's got to take care of.
Maybe that's what you got to do. You got to do it.
And I mean, I know that this weekend, he was working down in Tennessee too.
Yeah, I seen that.
Even though he's doing the Impact stuff down there, he's still doing his independent shows because he loves this.
Well,
that's all he wants to do.
Right. Well, duh. I mean, if you don't love it, why are you doing it?
Exactly.
You know, because at the level, not so much now, but before. I mean, it's not like you're established and making millions of dollars or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So to keep doing it, you have to love it. You know, you have to have some kind of love for it. And he will be at MPW on December 7th, it says. So there, you know that, Dave says, because he is the champ. I know that. Good stuff.
You know, I have a question for you, Cody. Legit wrestling question for you now.
Uh-oh.
Have you been watching a lot of WWE, even if it's just the pay-per-views? Have you been watching anything? Anything to do with the women's tag belts? You really should.
I have.
You really should. I like, and okay, since you haven't been watching, maybe some of these other people have.
Okay.
My thing is Alexa Bliss is one of the best female heels they have.
I could agree with that. Even not watching, I know that.
But she's not being a heel.
Really?
Yeah. She still has that I'm better than you attitude and everything like that, but she's not being the bad guy. So it's like I'm just kind of curious where they're going with this, because I thought they'd let it run for a little bit and she's going to turn on Nikki Cross or something like that. But the more and more I watch it, the more and more I'm like, I kind of like them together. They have a very good dynamic. It could be.
Yeah,
but
she's been suffering from concussions, to my understanding. So I watch most pay-per-views. That's about it, says Greg.
Oh, their match at Night of Champions was great.
Yeah,
Fire and Desire, I think is what they're calling the team.
I think Night of Champions was the first live show on Sundays for Rasslin Rage. I didn't even that tells you how much I've been watching. I didn't even realize it.
The other thing is that she did the cosplay at SummerSlam, and at this one, she did the cosplay of Buzz Lightyear, which is one of my favorite Disney movies, just saying. It doesn't top The Lion King, but it's a close second.
Right.
And at Night of Champions, she did the cosplay of Harley Quinn, which everybody knows she's done before, but she took something that Buzz Lightyear does in the movies and used it in the ring. She took something Harley Quinn does in the comic books and used it in a match. And I'm just like, that's great. I want her to cosplay something different every match that she has on these big pay-per-views and do that.
I like that.
I think that would be really cool for her.
It was. Dave asks, if Billy could choose his opponent, who would he pick and why? Is this like a last match? It's the only match you can ever pick again. What do we got? We got stipulations on this, or just anybody?
Do they have to be currently working?
Ooh.
Because I think everybody's going to know what my pick is.
I know who your pick is. I already know what your pick is. Yeah, as soon as you said that,
I've been asked this question a couple times.
I believe so. I know who it's going to be.
But if it could be anybody in the world, retired, whatever, it'd be Shawn Michaels every day of the week.
Nothing wrong with that.
But if it had to be, say, somebody that's working now, anybody that's working now, I would have to say The one guy that I've been wanting a match with forever and I still haven't had is Rohit Raju.
Yeah, we were talking about that a few minutes
Or
ago.
if you know him better as Hakeem Zayn.
Yeah, whatever.
But
Whatever he
that's
is.
one guy I've been wanting to have a match with for at least the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? I mean,
He's just so good.
for sure. Don't forget that you can head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/Rasslin Rage. Surprise.
Yeah, you probably already knew the answer to
Yeah,
that.
I did. I knew. I knew the answer. I knew that. But don't forget you can get
I'm a Hakeem Zayn guy.
All
Yeah,
right.
me too.
You can get Rasslin Rage T-shirts there. So, dude, 2 years. Thanks so much for coming back and
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
coming on and hanging out. Thanks for the ass
Thank
pants.
you.
Just messing with you. I didn't shed any tears like I thought I might, but we didn't really get talking too much into it. But I want to say to everybody, like Billy Ray and everybody, I'm very thankful to everybody that, joins me in the live chat or watches the replay or on Facebook or whatever, or comes and shakes my hand or says hi or whatever. Every one of you, I appreciate everybody. This has been one wild ride. I would say it's been like a roller coaster wild ride, but it's been like I've been able to live out childhood dreams.
It might have been a roller coaster, but you dropped the dead weight.
That's there. Good point. But I've been able to sit down with Ron Simmons. I've been able to sit down with Tony Atlas. I've been able to Rohit Raju, Madman Fulton, D-Ray 3000, and countless others in the state of Michigan. And I've really been able to establish a relationship with a lot of the indie guys in the state of Michigan. And for that, I'm most thankful for, because I think those guys are some of the best people that I've ever met. And it's because they're a brotherhood, and they're there for each other, and they're there for the people that are there for them. And I think that's probably one of the best parts of everything that I've done here, or we've done, is that elevating Michigan independent wrestling. That's what it's all about for me.
There is a lot more than people think, but there is a lot of talented young men and women right here in Michigan.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of these guys get overlooked sometimes. And I mean, I know I've only been in the business for 3 years, so I don't have a lot of room to talk, but I just feel like some of these guys do really get overlooked. But at the same time, it's about where you go. And if you just stay here in Michigan, you're not going to get looked at as much as if you're going to Florida, you're going to Ohio, you're going to Indiana. The guys that really push themselves to get out there more are the guys that are the ones getting looked at. Like, for instance, Hakeem Zayn.
Right.
He got the contract with Impact. He wasn't just working in Michigan. He was all over the place.
Right. And that guy was in the business for what, 13, 16 years before he got signed to Impact or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the number was. It was something like
I'm not sure.
I think it was like 16 years before he, won the Global Forged and signed to Impact. So, I mean, the dude was hustling. And I don't mean that in like in a hustle, like he's taking advantage of people.
I'm not gonna quote. Don't quote me on this because I don't know for sure, but I think it was more because of his promo work than anything that he does in the ring.
Hey,
because he's
whatever.
a great character.
Yeah, for sure. But again, guys, I'm so thankful to everybody that's been here from day one, and have continued to support Rasslin Rage, and to my guys, Josh and Danny, thanks for coming aboard for Michigan Independent Weekly, because there's no way I'd be able to do all that by myself and this and everything else that I do on top of it. So, I'm really, really, really thankful. And I hope that, I know that this is going to go other places, and there's more to come. And I was just showing him tonight something that's in the works for Michigan Independent Weekly, and boy, is it going to be a game changer. It is definitely going to be a game changer when it comes to Michigan Independent.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Michigan Independent Wrestling. You get ready, because it's coming. It is coming. All right, guys. I want to say thanks again to my man, BRD.
And I want to say I'm so proud of you. You've done so
Oh,
good
hey,
these
thank
last
you.
2 years.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure that you guys don't forget about Michigan Independent Weekly. Go on Facebook, check that out, and also like Rasslin Rage, and check out BRD on Facebook. You got Twitter now too?
I do, but I don't ever use it.
All right, well, you can check him out on Twitter, and you got Instagram.
I do have Instagram.
He's
I'm
got
on there
Insta-
all the time.
Is
Always
it
posting
at
stuff
Billy
on there.
Ray.
At Billy_Ray_Daniels.
There you go. So that's Instagram, and then Facebook is
Billy Ray Daniels.
Billy Ray Daniels. So there you go. Check it out, guys. MIW. That's right. MIW. That's right. Very soon. Don't worry. It'll happen one of these days. All right, guys. Thanks again. You guys have a great night, and we will see you next time right here, same place, same time for I was almost going to say Michigan Independent Weekly. For Rasslin Rage. Peace out.
It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. We're doing now.